Now I've got loads of LiPos for my quads, different sizes, different ages, and all in various states of health. Now to be fair, I'm generally pretty good at looking after them. I keep them at storage voltage when I'm not using them and try not to abuse them too much. But as we all know, LiPos, well, they don't last forever. Over time, they start losing performance depending on how hard they've been flown, how many charge cycles they've had, and just generally how well they've been looked after. And honestly, some of these are getting pretty tired now and are probably not far off retirement. But I hate throwing FPV batteries away. So I've been looking around for some replacements. And when HobbyKing reached out and asked if I wanted to test some of these new Turnigy Bolt X high voltage LiPo packs, it seemed like the perfect excuse to finally do something about it. So over the last few weeks, I've been testing these out on a couple of my drones to see how they actually perform in the real world. But I also wanted to do some proper bench testing as well to see whether they can really deliver the performance and the capacity that they claim to. Hello and welcome to the Whirly Bloke channel. So I've got two different Turnigy Bolt X high voltage LiPo packs to test. The first is this 6S 5400 mAh 80C pack, which I've been testing on my 7-inch AOS build. And the second is this smaller 4S 550 mAh pack, which I've been flying on my SpeedyBee Master 3X. Now, these are high voltage LiPos rather than standard LiPos, which means they charge to a slightly higher voltage per cell. And as we all know, a normal LiPo charges to 4.2 volts per cell, whereas these LiHV or high voltage LiPo packs charge to 4.35 volts per cell. So in theory, you get a little bit more usable capacity, slightly high voltage, and potentially a bit more punch and flight time. Now, I've used HV packs before on smaller quads and whoops like this Master 3X, but not really on larger builds like the 7-inch, so it'll be really interesting to see how these compare. And the important thing, as always, isn't what's written on the label, but how they actually perform in the air and on the bench. Now, first impressions on these are actually very good. I mean, the shrink wrapping on here, it's all very nice and tidy. The balance sleeves feel secure, and the larger pack uses a spark suppressed XT90 connector, and smaller packs have got a regular XT30. Now, one thing I always check on FPV batteries is how well protected the wire exits from the pack, because that's often where the packs eventually fail after repeated use. You know, you're bending them round to try and get them out of the way and that sort of thing. But these feel and look pretty solid. Weight-wise, the 6S pack comes in at 665 grams, and the smaller 4S pack weighs 66.8, well, 67 grams. And these larger packs also appear to have compression plates built into the design, which is usually a sign of a better engineered battery. By keeping a constant pressure on the soft pouch cells, that helps the battery maintain its shape, reduces swelling over time, and it generally improves durability under high-low conditions. They obviously can't stop batteries aging chemically, but rigid end plates and top plates in this hard-style case design are commonly found on higher-end drone and RC packs, where reliability, heat management, and long-term performance are more important than on the smaller packs. Now, straight away, these packs feel really solid in the air. Voltage sag is nicely controlled, throttle response just feels crisp, and even after a few punch-outs, the voltage recovers quickly rather than collapsing like my old tyre packs seem to do. On the SpeedyBee Master 3X especially, I can definitely feel the difference on aggressive punch-outs. Quad just feels sharper, more responsive, and holds its power much better through the flight. And on the 7-inch AOS, the 5400 mAh pack feels really stable and predictable, which is exactly what you want for smooth cruising and cinematic flying. So far, these are actually looking really promising. And after flying a few packs now, they definitely feel like an improvement over my older, tired old LiPos, especially on this Master 3X, where you can really feel the difference during fast punch outs and more aggressive moves. I think the higher voltage definitely seems to help keep things crisp and very responsive. Now, these are only rated at 80C, and I actually chose that deliberately. I'm not a racer, and I'm not a hardcore acro pilot. Most of my flying is cruising, cinematic flying, and sort of general freestyle. So realistically, 80C is absolutely fine for the way that I fly. And honestly, I'd rather have a good quality battery with honest ratings rather than some wildly optimistic C rating printed on the label. But of course, saying they feel better is still fairly subjective. I also wanted some objective data. So let's head over to the bench here and hook these up to my electronic load tester and see whether they can actually deliver what they claim on the label. During my flight test with the AOS 7, the cruising current draw was about 4 amps with 6 to 10 amps for punch outs and light acro. To get some objective test results, I fully charged this, and I'm going to assume that I'm going to probably land at 3.5 volts per cell. That's 21 volts overall. So I've set up my load tester to discharge this at a constant 6 amps, which sort of closely matches real-world mixed flight conditions. So at a constant 6 amp discharge, the pack delivers just under 115 watt hours before hitting the 21 volt cutoff that I programmed. That's pretty close to the claimed 123 watt hours on the label, especially considering I'm stopping the test at a sensible real world FPV cutoff voltage of 3.5 volts per cell, rather than completely draining the whole pack. And once the load was removed, the voltage recovered back up to around 21.5 volts within a few seconds, which is exactly what you'd expect to see from a healthy pack with decent voltage stability under load. But of course, cruising and gentle flying is only part of the story. So next, I want to increase the load quite a bit and see how this performs under much heavier sustained current draw. So before I turn my digital load off, I thought it might be a good idea to give it a bit of a torture test to see how it recovers after very hard use. Now, I can only work to the maximum load of my tester, so let's run it at a constant 15 amps at full charge for 2 minutes and see what happens. So this is a much heavier sustained load test at 15 amps, or roughly 370 watts at this point in the discharge, which is far more representative of aggressive flying, repeated punch out, sustained throttle than the earlier cruising style test that I did. And honestly, the pack is holding up really well. There's definitely more voltage sag compared to the 6 amp test, which is exactly what you'd expect at higher current draw. But the voltage remains stable and it's not collapsing dramatically under load. Now what's impressive is that after 2 minutes at 15 amps, the battery doesn't even feel warm. So despite this being a pretty demanding sustained load, the pack doesn't seem to be working particularly hard. And as always, once the discharge has stopped, the voltage recovered back up to around 25.5 volts within a few seconds, which again suggests reasonably low internal resistance and good voltage recovery characteristics. So overall, the bench testing confirms what I was already feeling in the air. The 6S pack performed extremely well. In the 6 amp discharge test, it managed nearly 50 minutes before reaching the cutoff voltage. And honestly, when I was actually flying this AOS 7, I never stayed in the air long enough to fully push it, because after about 20 minutes of cruising up and down, I was honestly just getting a little bit bored, and the battery wasn't showing any real signs of giving up. Now, obviously, bench testing isn't exactly the same as real FPV flying, because current draw is constantly changing in the air. So I don't think I'd realistically see 50 minutes of flight time on this, but even so, the results are extremely impressive, and the battery clearly has plenty of usable capacity for long-range cruising and cinematic flying. And although I didn't run the same bench tests on these smaller 4S packs, they felt equally as solid in flight. On the Master 3X especially, you can definitely feel the difference on punch outs and more aggressive moves, thanks to the higher voltage. But honestly, I was most interested in this larger 5400 mAh pack because next month I'm off on a 4-day road trip through Belgium, Germany, Italy and France, including driving the absolutely fabulous Stelvio pass. And of course, I want to fly it as well as drive it. So I wanted to make sure the AOS 7 and this battery combination were up to the job for longer mountain flights and cruising sessions. And after these tests, I'm pretty confident it'll be absolutely fine. Now, I'm genuinely happy with these packs, and although HobbyKing sent them over for review, I honestly think I may have found my new favourite batteries. In fact, I've ordered a few more of these before I go on my trip. Pricing is actually pretty reasonable as well. The 5400 mAh 6S pack comes in at around £71 here in the UK, or about $98 in the US. And the smaller 550 mAh 4S pack is available as a 2-pack for around £14, which honestly feels like extremely good value. I've added links down in the video description so you can check out the current pricing, availability and any deals from HobbyKing. There's also a discount code down there as well if you want to use it. Now, I know this has been a slightly longer video, but honestly, I selfishly wanted to bench test these to check that they were actually up to the job. Hopefully some of you found it interesting as well. But do let me know down in the comments if you've used any of these packs before or what you think of them. I'd genuinely love to hear your thoughts. And if you're interested in the upcoming Pistons to Places road trip next month, there should be a link up here now. 30 cars will be driving 2,300 miles from Cambridge in the UK to Pisa in Italy and back in just 4 days to raise money for a children's charity. Any donations would be hugely appreciated, even if it's just the price of a coffee. It's a genuinely fantastic cause. And if you found this video helpful, a like and a subscribe really helps the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.